Mr. Speaker, I note that we have 12 days to the end of the financial year. I am hoping that as Honorable Otiende asks us to support this bill, and we do, that the committee will appropriately caution all these agencies that they had better be sure they'll spend this money before the end of the financial year. Because part of what we deal with routinely is coming to the end of the financial year and you find agencies that have not spent even up to 40% of what they were allocated. And my caution therefore, Mr. Speaker, is that if any of these agencies should end up with having an audit query for not having spent, then the Budget and Appropriations Committee should appropriately penalize them by reducing their budget in the next cycle. My second caution, Mr. Speaker, is on confidential expenditure. Mr. Speaker, I note that half of this supplementary budget, that's about 6 billion, goes to 3 agencies that usually have confidential expenditure. That is State House, 1 billion, Internal Security, 1.5 billion, and National Intelligence, 3.5 billion, about 50%. Mr. Speaker, part of what we have routinely faced are some of these agencies taking virtually every other expenditure and putting it under confidential expenditure. And the reason is, they say Treasury has not updated or revised the regulations to indicate what is confidential expenditure and what is not confidential expenditure. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge the Finance and National Planning Committee, in conjunction with the Budget Committee.
Order, Honorable Otiende. Some Honorable Kaluma is on a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, I never interrupt on Amollo, but there is constant mention of confidential vote through the presentations, and it is a very sensitive issue. If I remember, the idea of confidential votes was abolished last year. Could Honorable Amollo mention to us this confidential vote that is referring to and which the members are referring to, so that we can make a decision with knowledge around it? Because so far as I'm aware, there is no confidential voting.
Mr. Speaker, if that was a point of order, then I do not know under which standing order it arises, because that is a contribution. No, Mr. Speaker, I want to tell you. I want to respond, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Honorable Otiende Amollo, you are a senior member here. Standing order number 91 says that a member shall be responsible for the accuracy of any facts which the member alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate any such facts instantly. So what you should have asked for is for you to substantiate what are these confidential votes.
Mr. Speaker, this is as a matter of law, not as a matter of fact, and I will explain. I started by mentioning some of my colleagues with whom we serve in the Public Accounts Committee, and they're here. Mr. Speaker, the 3 agencies have indicated, whenever we ask for their audit queries, including yesterday, they indicate that these fall under the confidential vote, which cannot be responded to because Treasury has not developed guidelines. The only point I wanted to make is this, and it's a very simple point. We do not need to disagree on this. That the Finance and Planning Committee, in conjunction with the Budget Committee, should urge Treasury to now develop these guidelines to separate what is confidential from what is not confidential. Because to the best of my knowledge and to the best of our committee knowledge, no such distinction has been abolished.
The Honorable Tongoe is on a point of order.
That's what I want to. Honorable Speaker, I want to be very factual, and I respect our senior counsel there. If you will be keen to look into those specifications, there is nothing like confidential. It is either in the Ministry of Interior, it is indicated security operation, which is totally opposite and different from security operation, confidential. In the State House as well. Yes, in the State House as well. It is just other operating expenses. It's nothing like confidential. So let's not mislead the House. Let's not misinform the country. Those are not confidential. And should be clear as that.
There is no confidential vote.
You can only rise on a point of order if there's an active member on the floor. So wait until Honorable Otiende Amollo resumes his debate, and then you can rise on a point. Proceed, Honorable Otiende Amollo.
Mr. Speaker, I accept to be informed by Honorable Dr.
Point
Umba.
of information?
Yes.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, we are responsible members of parliament. We are leaders in this country, and we swore to uphold the Constitution of Kenya. Those of us who sit in Public Accounts Committee, and I have sat there since 2020, Honorable Speaker, every year there are several agencies that have a confidential vote that is never subject to being unpacked. And that's what Honorable Otiende Amollo is alluding for. I sit in the Public Accounts Committee. I can even bring you the public accounts, the report of the Director General that was even discussed as late as yesterday to this House for purpose of substantiating the issue that there's a confidential vote in our books of accounts. Yeah.
Honorable, let him rise first. Proceed, Otiende Amollo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my point is a very simple one, and I do not know why
Majority Leader, you are on a
it
point of
attracts
order.
controversy.
What's your point of order, Honorable Majority Leader?
Honorable Speaker, you know, listening to what Honorable Ondo, I don't know if he is a member of the Public Accounts Committee, but I know the Senior Counsel is a member or was a member of the Public Accounts Committee, if not the chair some time back. But Honorable Speaker, I think we need to make it clear what the Honorable Ngogoi said, what the Honorable Kaluma has said. Before 2024, there used to be a confidential vote. After 2024, that confidential vote was abolished, and we must not confuse what is classified expenditure, like you had rightly guided. There's what is usually classified expenditure, military, NIS, part of what Honorable Ngogoi is speaking about, security operations, which you will not discuss in an open forum. But confidential, Honorable Speaker, I would want the Honorable Ondo, because he alleges that it is something they are discussing in the Public Accounts Committee. You can debate something in a committee, but until and unless it is in a formal report before this House, we cannot be discussing it, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, I would want to advise that if there is anything that they want to address in the Public Accounts Committee, they put it in their report, it comes before the House. If there are issues the Auditor General has raised, and Senior Counsel knows that, they will bring the report here and they will debate it. But let us not use this forum again to send the wrong message out there to people, as I can see attempts to.
Let him rise first.
Mr. Speaker, if I may just wind up my contribution. Mr. Speaker, whether you want to call it classified, whether you want to call it confidential, whether you want to call it other vote, my point is a very simple one. That the agencies constantly come and say we cannot respond to this because they still use the word confidential. They may use the word classified. But the point is, Treasury has not distinguished, has not generated the regulations to indicate these ones can be classified or these ones cannot. And therefore, most of these agencies come and say we cannot respond to almost everything because it falls in that category. All I'm saying is that it behoves us as a House to work with Treasury to create that distinction.
Order.
Lastly, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Otiende Amollo. I will repeat that again. And I've had the opportunity in the 10th Parliament, in the 7th Parliament. You see, there is intelligence gathering, there's counterintelligence, there's terrorism, there's counterterrorism. You expect those institutions are going to tell you we use these things to go and get espionage, counter-espionage. Those things are not for public, what do you call? There is the military order, military hardware and ordinances. There is the officers who are there. Nobody knows the number of officers in the armed forces. It's supposed to be a classified information order. Classified information. Honorable members, let us not confuse statecraft. Order. Order. Mbui. I think without proper arrangements being done, by security cleared committee, this parliament, open parliament, cannot discuss our security institutions in any way. Not the military. Nobody is supposed to know how many helicopters we have, how many planes we have, how many of these things. And this information, the expenditure is for ordinances. So I want you to know that when you get to that, please, it's a no-go area. But anybody else, order, any other area, yes, but not the security machinery, not the intelligence, not the armed forces of this country. On who? On me. You see, that's why I tell you you're a first timer. You rise on a point of order when a member is contributing and is not. Order. I am not debating. I am guiding the House. No, I'm guiding the House. Proceed. Proceed, Amollo. We don't want this basic activism to go into national security. National security is not an easy thing to mess around with. Proceed.
Can I have the mic?
Give the mic to Honorable Otiende Amollo.
What?
Use the next one, Otiende Amollo.
Which one? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, it is funny that the very point you make is all I'm making, yes, and yet you make it by way of correcting me. No. The point I'm making is simple.
No, I'm informing the House, not correcting you. Yes.
That the fact that there are certain things that cannot be disclosed to the public,
yes,
should not be an excuse to cover even those which should be audited. And what should happen is that Treasury should develop very clear guidelines to say these ones cannot be the subject of public debate.
Okay.
But these ones ought to be the subject of public debate. You cannot take, say, the entire amount allocated to one agency because it's a security agency and say it cannot be audited. That's all I'm saying. And you're actually agreeing with me, Mr. Speaker, and we spent so much time on this for no reason. I want to close, as I say, the following. Two matters, Mr. Speaker. One, I agree with the majority leader.
What's your point of order, Honorable Kaluma? What's your point of order, Honorable Kaluma? Order, Honorable Senate. When somebody stands on a point of order, I will give you. Yeah, but when he's contributing, stand on a point of order. Okay, I'll get to them. You'll have it. What is out of order, Honorable Kaluma? Can you give the mic to Honorable Kaluma? Go to any nearer one, that's centuries. Come to the front. Can you give the mic to Honorable Kaluma, for God's sake?
I don't know.
Kaluma, there's a mic here.
They have a point of order, so I'm waiting.
Sergeant at Arms. Sergeant.
Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Otiende Amollo raises the good point that if there are confidential votes, then we should have a regulation around them. And we don't contest that point. The point of order I raised, Honorable Speaker, is that we are debating Supplementary Appropriations number 2 bill of 2026.
Mine is not working.
And in that supplementary appropriation bill we are dealing with, there is no provision for confidential vote. And my worry is that in as much as Honorable Amollo's explanation is good, if we let it go that way, the presumption by people watching us outside there will be that there are confidential provisions here which are not there. So could we agree that for purposes of relevance, there is no confidential vote provision here?
Clearly, what Honorable Amollo is saying, whether it's classified or not classified, or it's confidential or classified, we need to have certain guidelines from the Treasury, which is perfectly in order. Proceed. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that intervention. Mr. Speaker, I'm coming to my last point.
Wamboka is also on a point of order. What's your point of order? Wamboka.
Mr. Speaker, I wonder why are people panicking? Honorable Otiende Amollo is saying, as late as yesterday,
Order. That's why I keep wondering why you people don't read your own standing orders and understand the basic rules of debate in the House. You rise on a point of order. You rise on a point of order. Did he accept your information? So wait until he accepts your information. It's not for me to grant that. Proceed, Honorable Amollo.
Mr. Speaker, you realize I had barely taken 2 minutes.
I'll give you an additional 1 minute. So do you wish to be informed by Wamboka?
Yes. So, okay. Mr. Speaker, as I come to my third point on a general point, first I agree with the Honorable Majority Leader that we need decorum in this House. Yes. That we can disagree, but reasonably. But that includes not raising unnecessary points of order.
Yes.
By way of contribution, which you can wait and make during your own time. That also includes, unfortunately, Majority Leader, not decampaigning your own colleagues by saying what they've not done for their constituencies. Mr. Speaker, may I also say, and I sympathize with you, because in this House we have two sides of the aisle. But this aisle are very difficult because you have the minority on the majority side. Then you have the minority on the minority side. And so people keep crisscrossing and you really can't quite tell. But still, I think on the ultimate, Mr. Speaker, it is the balance that will achieve the decorum in this House. As I finish, and I agree again with the majority leader.
Give him give him 20 seconds.
I agree that the Raila Amollo Odinga Stadium is an icon. But for the avoidance of doubt, Raila Amollo Odinga name cannot have another name beside it. It is not Talanta Raila Amollo Odinga. It is Raila Amollo Odinga Stadium. Thank you.